administrative meeting this morning where we will clear the decks of some of our standard business. Then we have to take up, which will hopefully not take too much time. Then we will shortly recess, and then we will reconvene at 10:15 sharp for a land use issue that apparently, by virtue of state law, needs to be noticed more precisely than our more free-flowing schedule in these admin meetings. So without further ado, Annie, would you do roll call for us, please?
Absolutely. Online, we have Adrian Beck, Cheryl Hartman, Christina Dewar, Elisa Buchholz, trying MCAT. Shannon's also in here, Zach's in here, and Zach Pio. In 206, we have Zach Jones, Jenna Sage, Jenna's with Missoula Engineering, Maddie Scott, Chelsea Whitman, Shannon Terrio, and Chantel Gaynor, Ann Hughes, Vinnie Pavlish, Annie Cathy, Chris Lounsbury, Commissioner Strohmeyer, Allison France, and Commissioner Slotnick.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Excellent. Glad I don't have to do that. I freeze up. People I know have known for 30 years. Like, who are you? Okay, thanks for folks joining us as guests today. I'm Dave Strohmeyer, one of the commissioners, joined here by Commissioner Slotnick. Commissioner Barrow is hopefully going to join us here soon enough. Is there any public comment on items not on today's agenda? And there is Commissioner Barrow.
Those boots.
Okay, seeing no public comment on non-agenda items, we have a consent agenda with 3 items on it. Is there anything that needs to be discussed or pulled off the consent agenda?
I'm good just moving that we pass this consent agenda.
Second.
Any further discussion on the motion or public comment on the consent agenda? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
We have 2 action items, the first of which we'll dispense with now, and we'll come back to item number 2 here at 10:15 when we reconvene after our recess. You missed that primer. So we're doing things a little different today, so hang on, upsetting the apple cart here. So the first item, this comes out of a recommendation from the Board of Health yesterday on an interim health department director, Chris Lounsbury.
Yes, so the Board of Health, as folks might remember, makes a recommendation for the health director to the Board of County Commissioners after the legislative change that happened 2 sessions ago. As part of that process, as we all know, Damien is taking a position elsewhere, and so we will need an interim director while that search occurs. The health board met yesterday, appointed a personnel committee to work on hiring the replacement director, and also selected Shannon Terrio, who's with us online, as their recommended candidate to be the interim director. Shannon has been with the health department for a number of years and is the director of the environmental health section, so she is well versed in the operations of the health department. And will serve as kind of the point of contact while their management team continues to function and lead the organization. Shannon will help provide some direction until we get an interim director appointed, assuming the commission approves that recommendation from the health board.
Chris, do you know the timeline of the search and when's the new person hoped to be in place?
So our HR director presented a draft timeline to the Board of Health yesterday. They selected a personnel committee of which Commissioner Strohmeyer is a member of that.
Strohmeyer.
Just talking about the fact that we can't say names. No, about his Gates.
So also on the committee is Mike Nugent.
Yeah, great.
And
Ted Strohmeyer.
and Pam Boyd. Yeah.
Can't rip on her name.
And so, assuming that personnel board approves the draft timeline, I believe recruitment would start. Position would open not next week, but the week after, if I remember correctly, and then run for a few weeks.
6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 weeks. As I say, I think the hope is to have a director in late spring, but of course, depending on where the candidate might be coming from, that will also impact the ability for them to be here, and so they'll need a transition period. So I think we'll know more as that goes through, and obviously there'll be a public process that includes an opportunity for the full commission candidates and all of that. But yeah,
Shannon Are you still interested or do you have anything to say for yourself?
I am interested. Thank you for asking that. And I'm excited about the idea of helping the department bridge the gap between two directors. I feel like we really learned a lot from Damien. I love that he brought appreciative inquiry to the health department and really thinking about, how to use your strengths to make the workplace even better. And so, we just learned a lot, and I'm looking forward to whoever the next director is, what they'll bring to the health department. And I have a lot of faith in the committee and the board and the commission for finding the right person to lead us. And so in the meantime, I feel like this is an incredible opportunity to learn more about parts of the health department that, just I know less about. And so I'm excited about the opportunity.
And thanks a lot for stepping up to do it, Shannon.
I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled with that. I'm just going to motion that right now then. Can I do that?
You absolutely can.
Okay. I'm that we approve the recommendation of the Board of Health for the interim health department director, Shannon Terrio.
I'll second that.
So grateful. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any public comment? Any further discussion by anyone? Okay, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Hey, Shannon.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Shannon.
I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
You bet. Okay, we'll skip over action item 2 and go on to correspondence. We have a letter of support for Homeward for the Just Home Housing Project grant application, and there it is. Anyone want to talk about this?
We've got Chantel and Chelsea here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can talk about this.
Yes.
So my work is based in the Safety and Justice Challenge grant that concentrates on jail diversion and reentry and deflection services. So the last time we had a site visit from the MacArthur folks, which was in October, we toured the Trinity building, the navigation center next to the jail, and they were super excited that we'd kind of come to partner with behavioral health people and housing people to talk about how can we really serve this population to reduce recidivism and gain access to services and stabilize this part of our community. So December rolled around and MacArthur decided they were going to put out a second cohort of their Just Home grant. So this was a pilot project they'd done a couple of years ago. And by invitation only, Missoula was asked to apply for the second cohort. So it's 4 grants, 10 sites. But I think we've been really encouraged to put in for this. So I've been writing this grant application with Homeward, and it is initial, I think, a 9-month planning period, and it's a $350,000 grant for that. And then it's a $5 million impact investment available to the community. So Homeward is supportive of it, and we're just looking for letters of support. And I apologize for my voice, I'm getting over a cold. So
What's the nature of the work that would be done with
so it's a housing development loan intended to divert from the jail. So the people who are perennially difficult to house, that our justice system involved, it wouldn't necessarily be like another Blue Heron bill, but it could be. But part of that planning process is assessing who are we finding it difficult to house, whose justice system involved, how can we divert this population out of like the instability and sort of that jail and houselessness cycle that we all see in the community, and how can we build, I guess, supportive services around housing to make these resources something that's practical and makes sense.
So this grant would be to help answer those questions.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wait, so this grant is just the 8-month 350, or is this?
It would essentially be both.
Both. Okay.
If we have a successful planning phase,
Then we do get implementation, and that 5 million just comes. That all of that 5 million would come to this area, or is it 5 million spread amongst?
No, for Missoula.
And after the first part, would you have to reapply?
I mean, they're going to do an assessment phase of the planning process, but I think it's, unless you fail at planning, is what we were told.
Homeward's kind of this fly-by-night outfit.
So we're excited. Some of the other areas are, Los Angeles, St. Louis, Portland. And so like that money goes
Missoula.
further in Missoula than it does in those other places.
This is amazing.
Congratulations. Well done.
Wow. And way to get the invitation.
Homeward would be the recipient.
Okay.
We would be partners.
Right.
Are we like a co-applicant?
We are essentially, yeah, Homeward was eligible to apply because we're a safety and justice challenge site, and the MacArthur Foundation feels like we've done enough positive work to warrant, hey, why don't you try housing development? So it is a.
Oh, geez. Oh, I'll try it. Wow.
So it's they were able to apply because of our association with Safety and Justice Challenge, but we're just happy to have a place like Homeward in the community that we can point to and say this is a great partner for Missoula County to take on this project.
That's fantastic.
And I will say, one of the side benefits, you remember that we had gone to South Dakota and formed connections with some of the delegation that went. We were able to reach out to some of them also for letters of support. So for Billings, the senator out of Billings to lend support to this project really speaks to.
A Republican senator out of Billings.
That's great.
Are there any others?
I'm sure.
All right, well, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, excited to sign this and support it.
Just one thing I want to add that Chelsea underplayed there just a little bit is because of the success of Missoula and the Safety Justice Challenge, which is largely due to both Chelsea and Chantel's work, Homeward was eligible to apply for this. And
Well said.
there really was a lot of staff time over the last 5 years, really, 4.5 years that has gone into the Safety and Justice Challenge, and a lot of positive changes that have happened in Missoula because of that. And those two individuals had a huge hand in that work. So.
Thank you. Thank you.
so much. We're proud to be associated with you.
Thank you.
Thanks for the letter.
There it is. I signed
Yeah.
it. So,
It's coming around to you guys right now.
so anything else?
No,
We're 1 minute
I
away from
think-
start time, so we
yeah,
can
I
probably just roll right into our actual.
We have to formally close.
No,
no, it's yeah.
as it turns out, we just. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, Zach, you want to come on up and we will dive into item 2, which is a family transfer. Rare admin meeting family transfer.
You're becoming less rare.
Oh, no,
Now you can come up right there if you want.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so this item is the PO family transfer, and the project is located at 2450 Peregrine Loop. The claimant is Zach PO and represented by Missoula Engineering LLC. Jenna Sage is with us today. And I am Zach Jones, a planner with Planning Development and Sustainability here at the county. So this is just a kind of location map showing you where the subject property is highlighted in red there. It is in the Country Crest subdivision, which is this whole area with this road here. And Peregrine Loop goes off of, it is Grasslands Drive or road.
Sorry, Zach, can you zoom out at all on that or no?
Not here. This is just a picture from the property info system, but to orient yourselves a little more, Mullen Road is over
Oh, I can.
just south of the property where I'm kind of putting my cursor. This is the Ranch Club subdivision, just to the west of the Country Crest subdivision, and the airport would be a little bit off the screen to the north.
What's the straight road going, right? You just crossed it.
To the northeast.
Northeast, yeah.
It's the railroad.
Oh, this?
Railroad.
Yep. Yep, it's the old railroad right away, and Hiawatha Road kind of follows that for part of it over here. This is also the Mullen Trail subdivision with its kind of flood detention basin right there. So the existing conditions on the property, it's just a 1 acre lot in the Country Crest number 3A subdivision, and it's on the corner of Peregrine Loop and Grassland Drive. It's a pretty basic subdivision lot, and it's 1 acre.
There's sewer out here.
Yep, there is. This is just another view with the zoning. So this area is zoned RRS 0.5, which has a minimum lot size of 1/2 acre. So the lot is currently 1 acre, which allows it to be divided in half to create 1/2 acre lots, which are compliant with the zoning. So the proposal in a little more detail is to create 1 new 1/2 acre tract from the existing 1 acre tract, which is owned by Zach Pio, for transfer to his father, Chuck Pio, and then the remaining 1/2 acre tract will continue to be owned by Zach Pio. And currently on the property, there's 1 existing single family residence. And like I said before, it's zoned RRS 0.5, which allows for lots that are 1/2 acre. And then the proposed layout is shown here. So it's just a simple kind of halfway split along this line here that I'm tracing. And this also shows some existing utility easements. Like mentioned before, there is sewer already on the property.
And the entrance comes off of where for the new lot?
I believe it would be on Peregrine Loop.
Okay.
Cursor is being really touchy today here. Okay, so for the general evasion criteria and rebuttable presumptions that we review for family transfers, there was actually none of them triggered. So we can conclude that there does not appear to be an attempt to evade subdivision review in the claimant's request for this family transfer. And there's more information on that in the staff report, but like I said, none of them were really worth digging into because everything was looking good there. And then I just got 1 agency comment from Kyle Crafter at Missoula Public Health with just a kind of standard comment that we usually get for these that just says, this would require state sanitation review, and they would propose and are required to connect to city sewer, which is already on the property. And the existing home is already connected, and the new home would be connected.
And then what do they do for water? Is it a well or how?
I believe there is city water. There's not. They do have a well.
So there another well, or is it
Yes.
the 2 lots will share a well?
Individual.
Okay.
Thank you.
That was Jenna Sage talking.
Sorry. Thanks, Jenna.
So with that, if the applicant is online and available to answer questions, we could do that.
I am on here. I'm on here.
Great, thanks. Yeah, so could I get you to state your name for the record, please?
Zach Pio.
Okay, thanks. And then I just have 5 questions for you. First one is, did you buy the property with the intent of dividing it?
I did not.
Okay. And then do you or your transferee intend to transfer the property within the next year?
I mean, do I intend to hand it over to my dad within the next year?
No, beyond this family transfer.
No.
Like, okay, thanks. And have you talked to anyone at the county about going through subdivision review?
No.
Okay. And will the property be developed?
Yeah, he's going to put a house on it.
Okay. And will the recipient of the property be residing on the property?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
I haven't lived this close to my dad in a long time, so.
Okay. And with that, PDS staff is recommending approval, and I have the recommended motion on the screen.
Okay.
And I'm available for questions.
Thanks, Zach. Zach Pio, anything that you'd like to say, or Jana, anything you'd like to add?
I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have, but I do just want to clarify there is an existing septic system that serves Zach's home now, but we will abandon that and propose to connect to city sewer, and then they will be served by individual wells.
And the new house will have to.
Absolutely, yes. So
And I can take it from Zach's remark that he lives in the house.
he does.
Any other questions or a motion?
I'm good. I'm happy to move. We approve the request by Zach Pio to utilize family transfer exemption to create and transfer one parcel as presented in the subdivision exemption.
Second.
Right now. Is there any further discussion or public comment on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye.
Hi, good luck living with your dad.
Zach and
Act of generosity.
It's going to
And-
be interesting.
And I have to say, for the engineering firms out there, the consulting firms, I love proposals like this that do not deviate from zoning or land use designation. So
Thank you.
keep bringing these types of projects.
Absolutely.
Slam dunk.
Okay,
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
thank you. Anything
Thank
else
you.
we need to deal with?
Thanks.
Thanks, Zach. Okay, we are done.
Thanks for coming all the way over, John.
You guys have 5 minutes before you meet your first